It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K and
Steph Beckett.
And what is it time for, Steph?
rAVe TV, same time, same place every week, Wednesday, noon Eastern. We're coming to you live on ravepubs.com, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and am I missing one?
LinkedIn, Twitter, and
Facebook.
Facebook, yes.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook. So yeah, we're coming to you live in all the places.
Yep.
So Gary, how are you? How's life?
I had a great Thanksgiving break.
Good.
Yeah, I got over having the flu, as you know, and had both my daughters home, which was kind of fun.
That is fun.
How was your? It was cool meeting your dad. Obviously, he was in the middle of fixing Thanksgiving dinner last week when we talked. But how was that?
It was good. You got me in trouble because you made me admit on air that I had not watched the latest Top Gun movie, and so during Thanksgiving with our family, like after we ate, my dad sat me down and was like, "Sit down and watch this now." And so he made me watch it.
And?
It was good. It was good. I liked it. I don't feel the same way about it that I think like you do. I don't think it's like the best movie ever made, but like
I don't think it's the best movie ever made. I just think
it was enjoyable. I think that I think that Tom Cruise did a good thing when he made them do like actual shots of being in a plane instead of CGI. I think that was smart.
A jet. Not a plane.
Jet. Sorry, a jet. Isn't a jet a type of plane?
Yeah, it just sounds better. Jet, like
all right,
car
a
versus
jet.
car. Yeah.
All right. And I caught the watch shot that you were talking about where Tom Cruise was walking with his papers.
Every movie got to show his watch. It's in his contract.
Honestly, I think that my favorite character was Glenn Powell.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think he was so good. I love that actor. I think he's so funny.
They did it. They picked good actors. They have an opportunity to continue the series because they have likable characters that were in the series, and they can go beyond Tom Cruise. But I think it's a really good movie. They never give those kind of movies Academy Awards other than for like best.
That's not going to get an Academy Award. I'm sorry to say. Maybe Lady Gaga's song, but that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they'll do. But what movie is? We should do a show on that. But what movie you think has been the best movie for 2022?
Barbarian.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
That is not the best movie. That is the weirdest movie of 2022.
Yeah, but that's because you don't appreciate like horror and like what movies like that are going to do for the horror genre.
I love horror movies, but it's like that's like slapstick stupid horror movies.
It wasn't. It was. I think it was done so well. I think that like director and like creator of that film is like gonna go places after this, and like picking Bill Skarsgård, who was Pennywise, this is a spoiler, so like mute if y'all want to watch this movie or care. But making Bill Skarsgård the red herring to where you think that he's the bad guy and he's actually not after like your mind just thinking he's bad because he was Pennywise, genius, amazing, 10 out of 10.
I agree. It was a good kind of flip on the story, but I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say. I don't know. And again, they want for them to give a horror movie best movie of the year would be shocking. They're not.
Right? No, it's
going to be some movie that no one has seen.
I don't normally
some director that no one knows.
Yeah, it's going to be like
no one understands.
It's going to be like an art house film for sure. Exactly. And I don't watch a lot of those until they win awards. Like it usually like they have to gain some traction for me to care.
Yeah. Speaking of awards. We were at DSE 2 weeks ago, and we the digital signage show is the only digital signage experience show. It's the only digital signage show in the industry, and we gave out our awards for the best products at the show, and you can actually see if you scan that QR code that's going to pop on the screen in just a second, you can see all of the awards that we gave out for the DSE exhibitors. And Steph, you want to run through some of your favorites?
Yeah, so best new technology that goes to the art media capsule, which was really good. It was kind of like hologram technology, but which art is known for, but using it in this way in retail was actually very creative.
Yeah, it's almost like having
cool.
a virtual concierge service.
Yes. Best new touch technology, that's Bluefin International's countertop touchscreens.
Very cool.
Best new gesture technology that's the Nexmosphere XR-DR1 RFID sensor. Best new media player, which like there weren't a ton to pick from at this DSE, companies, which was very interesting, but we picked Bright Signs XC5. Let's see. Sony won a couple of awards for best demo, their spatial reality display, and for digital signage panel, their Bravia lineup. Best new indoor LED display is the Looking Glass 65. Best new outdoor LED display, the GDS Midas Aria display. GDS won another award for their best new small signage display, which is the eTella. Best new
e-paper display. Yeah.
Yes, best digital signage software product goes to BlueZoo, which was a very cool company. Mm-hmm. Hardware, the Navori Stix 5700, and then Enfiled won best new video wall product for its Emphy banner series, and they won best booth. And then best new kiosk was the rAVe IQ smart kiosk. And then Gary, this is like one of your favorite things we got to see, which is the best new product you probably didn't see, and that's Kitcast.
Yeah, Kitcast is a company that uses the Apple TV as the media player, and you download an app and you pay a monthly service, and it turns any Apple TV into a digital signage player, and it includes both a CMS and a creative suite that is very much like Apple Keynote, if you know how to use Apple Keynote, which is like a simpler, more graphical, pleasing version of PowerPoint. So you can create a digital signage display really easy. And what's cool about it is you can deploy it to 60,000 screens simultaneously as long as they have Apple TVs. You click one button, it goes to all the Apple TVs. And you can still use those Apple TVs for collaboration, for wireless presentations, and for watching TV as well. It's a really cool company. They're based out of the Ukraine, the developers, and but they have a U.S. headquarters in Miami. You should check them out at Kitcast, KITCAST.TV if you're interested. A new company. Cool. I really like these people. I think that's I really had a good time talking to them because, you know, the founder, Steph, his family's still in the Ukraine. We were talking about sort of all that was going on there. And he was kind of interesting perspective on things. But they're an up and coming company.
Yeah, they're very cool. So congratulations to all the winners. And we are excited for next DSE, and we're excited for next trade shows in general. The next one we will be attending in person is going to be ISE 2023. That's January 31st to February 3rd. If you are trying to go register, definitely use our code so that you have free entry to the show floor. It's rAVe Europe, all one word, all lowercase. And we will see you in Barcelona. We're very excited.
Yeah, I booked my tickets yesterday, in fact.
Oh, good. That's very early for you.
It isn't.
You're like a last minute. That gives me such anxiety.
Well, you know, it's funny, or not funny. I got to go basically straight from ISE straight to Epson the next week, which is in California. So it's going to be a lot of travel. And then I go to my niece's wedding right after that. So it's going to be two tough weeks of travel. But
yeah, well, that's kind of good though, because that's like not as much time adjusting, because it's like 6 hours for us. But if you're flying to Epson, California, right?
Yeah, that's 9 hours.
That's three, right? Or is it more?
No, it's 9 because it's the opposite direction.
Oh,
yeah. So it's going to be quite a bit of adjusting. But,
I'm trying to decide if that's
melatonin has become my best friend. It's actually worked for me. A friend of mine told me about it 5-6 years ago, and I was like, yeah, I've been hearing about this for you. It can't be that good. But I mean, I actually know exactly my dose is 3 milligrams. I know exactly when to take it. It always works for me. So knock on wood.
Good. Yeah. No, I was telling the interns that are going with us the other day, I was like, y'all, please bring melatonin on that plane, because you're just going to have to go to sleep as best you can on the way over there. And like, it's going to suck, and you're just going to have to try your best.
And, you know, it's funny, Legrand, the only thing they don't make is melatonin. They make everything else in our industry. They're like a glue company that makes lots of things. They are one of our sponsors of rAVe TV. And check out, so this video was shot. We shot this video at E4 a couple of weeks ago. And look, this is a great product because this is a product everyone needs. And I thought you'd enjoy seeing this because of the way that we have collaboration boards and the way UC has really exploded in our market. Legrand has built something kind of cool for that. So check this video out. It's real short.
Hi, I'm Angela Tenner with Legrand AV here at the Boston E4, showing off our newest cart from Chief. It is the Voyager cart, LSCUB. It's a very sleek cart for conferencing, higher ed, any space that you need a nice looking mobile option for your flat panel display. We've got a nice shelf here with an opening for remotes or anything that might be needed in that space. Lots of mounting options for you. Nice heavy-duty casters that move very easily. And the back of the cart is nice and aesthetically pleasing with also an option to open here. So we just slide this lever. We've got our pack accessory plate for any of your display features that you need. And this will just slide back, move over. And this is our newest cart, again, from Chief, the Voyager cart. You can find it on legrandav.com.
So imagine, if you think about all the collaboration board, look, I've been saying for years, every room should have a collaboration board in it, but none of them should ever be mounted. Mounting a collaboration board is the biggest mistake our industry has made with collaboration boards, because when you mount it, like, how tall are you, Steph?
5'3".
And I'm 6 feet. So you can't. How are you going to mount it perfectly, right? Especially if you put an 84-inch one in there, right? Which is really what you need to fill a room with a lot of people. You're going to be where you can't reach the top, or you're going to have to mount it low enough. And then if you got ADA, I mean, like, it's never going to work. You should build all the rooms like you normally build them, and put all your collaboration boards on carts, move them in and out, put them wherever you need them, use it as collaboration, use it as mobile collaboration. That's how that should be done. This is the direction to go, and I see all these products going that direction. But we got lots more to talk about. We have a special guest here, and Tom LeBlanc, Executive Director of NSCA. Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing good. We don't all have to say how tall we are, right?
No.
Right? You want to share that with us? Or?
Yeah.
No, I'll pass.
I mean, we're just making a point here that not everybody's exactly the same height. We all mount monitors based on the same principles of this, but we have ADA here in the U.S. and the world, and has different regulations. But we're here to talk about Giving Tuesday and beyond with Ignite. Talk about first off, real quick, Tom. Tell everyone who NSCA is. And by the way, if you're not a member of NSCA and you're an integrator, you should be. NSCA.org. Who's NSCA and what's Ignite, Tom?
Yeah, thanks for that, Gary and Steph. It's great to be here with you. So thanks for having me. So yeah, NSCA, National Systems Contractors Association, we're a nonprofit trade association that supports integrators, right? So we like to think of ourselves as being small and effective, right? We don't have a big team at NSCA, and we kind of stay in our lane. What we think we're good at is we think we're good at providing, business resources, and, we put on a couple of events that we think are really valuable for the industry, and we just try to help integrators with their business. That's what we think we're good at. Chuck Wilson, has worked on NSCA for decades at this point, developing resources and, helping us to identify, ways that we can help integrators run their businesses better. And we try to stick to that. And that's all we try to do. So in a nutshell, that's what NSCA is about.
And the NSA Educational Foundation, what does that mean compared to NSCA?
Yeah, so I work for NSCA. I don't actually work for the NSA Education Foundation. I work with the NSA Education Foundation. So that's a different nonprofit organization that supports workforce development in our industry. So it was started a few years ago. And I think the thing that most people know about the Education Foundation is the Ignite program that was launched, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago at this point. I wasn't at NSCA when they had this great idea to launch the Ignite program, but the idea behind that is, we all know that this industry has these recruiting challenges. I keep using this term that our industry exists in a bubble. And inside the bubble, we know that you can have a great career, but outside the bubble, you just don't know about it. So the idea behind Ignite is to arm what we call NSCA ambassadors, which are really just like NSCA members that we arm with marketing materials and ammunition to go out to career fairs and schools and that sort of thing, places where recruiting isn't traditionally done by our industry, so outside the bubble, and educate people about this industry, bring people in, and then part of the Ignite program is that companies can offer an internship through the program. So now you've reeled these people in and you give them a great foot in the door opportunity for a very industry specific, well thought out internship program that NSA will help companies with. So it's not just bringing somebody in and having them deliver the mail. It's making sure that they run an effective internship program that forces them to learn different parts of the business and even choose an area of concentration to focus on a little bit more than the others. And what we find is that when interns go through that, there's a higher chance that they're going to become an effective employee that's going to live and breathe the company culture and just be a great a performer for a company. So, that's what the Education Foundation is really all about.
It's really cool. So can you tell us a little bit about the Be the Spark event?
Okay, so this Be the Spark event, we come up with a different term for it every year, but we've been doing this virtual fundraiser this is the third year. We started it during the pandemic because we lost during 2020, right? The pandemic. It's hard to remember this whole pandemic thing.
Honestly, like it feels like it's taken forever and also like 6 months at the same time.
Exactly. But during that tumultuous year, we lost one of our live, like events where that the foundation kind of depended on. So we decided to, try to do a virtual event, and it turned out to be really fun. It turned out to be not just a silent auction that allowed us to raise funds to support the Education Foundation, but it also turned out to be a pretty cool networking event. So, like a lot of people would have a cocktail and, and interact with, people, through the platform. Also, it was hosted by Tim Albright, and it will be again this year, and he had a lot of fun with it. Chuck Wilson will be a live guest, and also Jeff Kindig, who's the director of workforce development for NSCA, will also be on there, and they'll have fun. They'll chat with folks, but they'll also educate people a little bit about why we think it's really important to benefit the Education Foundation. It's a really fun event. It's December 8th, so next week, between 5 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And I think you might have a link right up there.
If you just scan our QR code right now that's on the screen, you can go ahead and register for that, or make sure it's put on your calendar. You can also go to nsca.org too. But if you're watching us on any of the social platforms, the link is sitting there, so you can click on that link. Tom, I have one last question. Go ahead, Steph. Go ahead.
Oh, and you can also see what a few of the things that are available to bid on right now. So I am looking at it right now.
Jeff told me there's a Millennium Falcon on there.
There's a Millennium Falcon Lego set. There is an autographed Chuck Wilson apron for you to wear as you are cooking. And there are trips too. Trips to there's like a Game of Thrones 6 nights trip of a lifetime that sounds really cool. There's an Alaska cruise. Like there's so much on there.
Yeah, it's different. Oh, sorry, Gary. It's a little bit different than what we've done in the past, because usually we've only relied on our manufacturer friends in the NSCA community to donate, products and that sort of thing. And we're still doing that, but we thought it would be fun to add some of those, like non-traditional auction items. And there's also some like household things. So it's a good way to do like some tax-free holiday shopping while also benefiting the industry.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff. There's like packs of air tags, a greenhouse set. Yeah, there's for whatever you're looking to shop for, y'all have it available to bid on. So definitely scan the QR code and check it out.
And kudos to Chuck Wilson for seeing the vision to have you come in and replace him, or sort of like ascend to his role, because Chuck has been like very much a relationship based, supportive of the integrator guy for 30 years, and he's helped sort of build helped sort of build that bridge for integrators for many, many years in our industry. And to bring you on is perfect timing because you're the same kind of personality. I imagine, Tom, that Steph will be interviewing you 25 years from now, and you'll still be doing that because you're the perfect person for that role. So I appreciate you coming on here and being part of rAVe TV.
Sure. And Steph, I want to tell you that when we do those interviews, I'm going to call Chuck ahead of time to ask him what I should say.
Don't listen. He'll tell you to mess with me.
All right. Well,
so
one of our
advice he gives, don't listen.
And I hope that people will join. I'll be there. And by the way, we're a little bit later on in the show. We'll talk about we're partnering with NSCA on a labor installation standards and launch and learn. And the week before that, the AVIXA launch learn we're doing. Tom LeBlanc's team would be interested in that too, because we're talking about wage gap and compensation differentiation between different people that are in our industry, different groups of people in our industry. But in the meantime, one of our sponsors is Aver, and we all have cameras and we all look good because of these awesome cameras. But at the E4 show, here's a video. This is cool because this is a PTZ camera that can also be used as a POV camera, and it's really kind of a neat little concept. So check this out. It's aimed at the medical industry, but can be used in any room. So I can imagine seeing this camera mounted in a classroom, but allowing you to grab it and use it as a document camera. Watch this. Check it out from Aver.
Hey, I'm Keith, applications engineer here with Aver Pro AV. And today we're here at E4. We're happy to be here. We're excited. We're here introducing our medical camera, our MD330 UI. It's a unique camera, hopefully to get into the medical space. The unique thing about this camera, of course, is 4K, it's PTZ, but it has a detachable head. You press this button, and you can detach it, right? And use it to, get lesions or something on patients, monitor patients, take a snapshot of it, right? And then you can put it right back in there. And the cool thing about it is it comes with LED lights, right? Good for those infrared, those low light rooms, right? You can put on the LED lights and use it for low light rooms. Something we're pushing hard is just NAB Award of the Year 2022. So something we're very proud of and excited about. Right.
I love creativity like this. I mean, that's really thinking about, it's a niche application today, but it'll become a normalized application a year from now because everyone will have this feature. Like everyone's like, well, why would you ever want to do that? And then
why wouldn't you?
We would like to do that. It's a great idea. So anyway,
I think right now it just seems niche until people realize how deeply they need that type of application. But Aver Pro AV is really doing great work. So I highly recommend y'all go and check them out.
Check out scan that QR code to get more information on them. By the way, yesterday, Steph, you got a chance to attend a private release of the new AMX panels. And AMX is, it's interesting. It's like all of a sudden AMX has said, oh, wait, we are still here. We're in the control business. Yeah. We're here and we're relaunching everything. We're coming out in the new control system. But in the meantime, check out our new panels. And what I thought was interesting about these panels is, first off, the aesthetic, very Apple-like design, but also the integrated features, NFC integrated into it, for example, so that you can do BYOD right there in the room with the panel. I think the way they integrate it and the fact that all the panels can be mounted horizontal, portrait or landscape, but also be detached or placed on a stand. I thought the design was really good and it will attract attention. I'm glad to see Harman has realized, I should say. Yeah. I'm glad to see Harman has realized what they have because I felt like that they weren't getting the attention after Samsung purchased them.
Yes, the features that it includes are really interesting. It can be both table mounted and wall mounted. It comes in
even glass mounted.
Yeah, it comes in a ton of different sizes. As you were mentioning, NFC, it has a camera and microphone as well, so you can use it during meetings. They kept just kind of reiterating during this launch that they really wanted to come out with something that can virtually be used any way possible.
I also understand that they also said it can be used with other companies' control systems. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Okay. Yep. That's substantial.
They did not want it to be proprietary is what they mentioned as well. Like they did not want any proprietary programming involved. So yeah, it's
I tell
kind
you,
of
if they didn't use Johnny Ive, whoever did design them deserves an award, because it looks very Johnny Ive-ish. And if you don't know who he is, he's the guy who designed the aesthetic of the iPhone, the iPod, the Apple Watch, and the Apple TV for Apple, which has this sort of like really nice industrial user interface design. So I'm impressed.
Yeah. So very cool. Definitely keeping an eye out for what AMX is doing in the future.
Yeah, and by the way, everyone wants to know what Steph thinks of the DSE
Oh my gosh,
show.
Everyone wants to know.
Yeah, everyone does.
I mean, honestly, like I went in knowing this was not going to be like the biggest show in the world. Like, how could it be? This was the first year that QuestX had taken over DSE and is kind of building it back from the ground up. And this is my first DSE ever, so I really like went in with no expectations, but I was really impressed by the networking opportunities at this show. Like, you know, even more so than like some of the other trade shows I've attended, the networking opportunities were fantastic. I mentioned a few of the show floor trends that I caught, including like lots of CMS, companies that help you track measurements, analytics, and that type of stuff, and like doing that in different ways. As we mentioned, not a ton of digital signage players this year, only a few.
Well, I wonder how I asked one of the player manufacturers. Now, I'm not going to say which one. There are three player manufacturers there. I asked one of the three, how much longer will we still see? How much longer will we have external media player hardware? You were standing there when he answered the question, and he said no more than 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
Basically, we're going to see those all be built into the displays, is what he's saying, or be on the network all the time as cloud-based servers. So.
Which is kind of how it was looking at this show anyway, seeing as there were not many players there. But yeah, a lot of experiential stuff too, like not a ton, but we're definitely seeing a lot of like gesture technology, holograms being used in interesting ways, and things like that. So definitely I'm going to keep an eye out for more of those at the next DSE.
And one other thing of note before we play a message from our partner and sponsor Shure is that AVI SPL became the first AV integrator in the world to earn the SDVOE Certified Design House certification, which is new. If you're interested in learning more about that, all you have to do is scan that QR code to go to ravepubs.com and learn about that. That means that they know how to design AV over IP using SDVOE. Hey, we got a video to play for you from our sponsor, Shure.
Hi, I'm Chris Lyons with Shure. When I'm on a conference call, I devote my full attention to whatever is being discussed. Okay, that's not true. I normally am multitasking, and I often forget to mute my microphone. Yes, I'm that guy. Fortunately, IntelliMix Room DSP software has a feature that is designed to deal with people like me. It's called the AI denoiser, and it gets rid of common random room noises that can easily disrupt your meeting audio. I really don't know how it works. I think we reverse the polarity of the phantom power or something like that, or maybe it's digital. I don't know. But the point is, it works. Now, if I'm in a meeting, I like to click my pen. It kind of helps me think. So if I start clicking my pen, it might be disruptive and heard by the people on the other end of the call. But the denoiser knows how to take out the clicking of the pen and not disturb my voice. I like to look smart during a meeting, so I type on my keyboard a lot. People think that I'm taking notes or sending an important email, but I'm really not. Here's my pro tip for looking more productive. If you have one of those keyboards that's really quiet, doesn't make much noise, just type extra loud so it draws more attention to it. Now, of course, the denoiser can tell the difference between the keyboard clicking and the sound of my voice. So it gets rid of the keyboard, but it leaves my speech where it should be. Send. Probably the most annoying thing I do during meetings is eat. Now, I like meetings where they bring in pizza, but I try to keep some snacks around my desk just in case that there's, a meeting that runs long and they don't have any food. And so, fortunately, with the denoiser on, it takes care of all that noise, and I don't have to worry about crunching chips or cookies or anything else. Sometimes it's actually pretty difficult to get these bags open. You would think they make them easier. But once I've got a snack ready, then I can go 2, 3, 4-hour meeting, no problem. The denoiser is included with IntelliMix Room DSP software. If you're already using IntelliMix Room, just upgrade to the latest version and you'll have it. And then you don't have to worry about being that person.
Okay, so just gonna round out our show here, just mention a few launch and learn events that we have coming up. We did mention them a little bit earlier, but first of all, creating strong editorial relationships. This is important for every company that wants their stuff to be written about by all of the lovely written journalism pieces out there. So definitely check that out. It's going to be December 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then another one coming up. This is Avixa's launch and learn that we are doing in partnership with them. This is Wage Gap and Pro AV, More Than Compensation. It's going to be December 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be all about those two pieces that we have published in partnership with them. One about the racial pay gap and one about the gender pay gap in Pro AV. So definitely check that out. We're going to do a deep dive into all of that data and what you can do. Finally, as we talked about earlier, NSCA's Labor Installation Standards in U. It's going to be December 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern, right around Christmas time. And this is where panelists are going to kind of look into the new standards and have a big picture conversation about why integrators really need to be meticulous when it comes to budgets and job costing and choosing the right projects, where it is more important than ever to do something that is profitable.
And I saw Tom talk about this at a recent event, and I was like, we need to have a launch and learn about this, because there's a lot of regulations and weird things like that and even price changes. Like, how do you go back to your customer when a price has changed, or the delivery time has been so long that the product doesn't even exist anymore and the new product is significantly more expensive. They give you some advice on that kind of stuff and how to build that into your contracts. But this has been rAVe TV, our weekly TV show that Steph and I do every Wednesday at noon Eastern. We appreciate you joining us, and we will see you next week for another live rAVe TV. If you want to see the archive of all of our shows, just go to ravepubs.com and click on the TV link at the top of the screen. Thanks
or you can watch them all on YouTube. All right, see you next time.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV.